welcome back to another episode of Stitches and Sprinkles. My name is Hillary, and this is my YouTube channel about sewing, knitting, and any other crafting that I get up to. Thanks for joining me today for another episode, and this one's also going to be a knitting whip parade. So, settle in, grab a cup of tea or coffee or whatever your winter beverage of choice is if you're in the northern hemisphere, and something nice and cooling if you're in the southern hemisphere, and we will get started. I'll tell you first what I'm wearing. This is a ready-to-wear sweater. I think I got it from Stitch Fix many years ago when I was still doing that and not really sewing my own clothes. It's comfy and it fits nicely, so I still wear it. And I do have on my trusty Lander pants in teak bull denim from Blackbird Fabrics. Uh-oh, I'm knocking stuff over. So, I do have a lot to share this week because we're going to talk about works in progress, like overall, even the ones that I haven't touched in a minute, active works in progress, and finished objects. So, I will start with the finished objects. And we'll do this one first. So this is a cowl. It is a modified version of Pretty Brioche Thing. I have a Ravelry page for it, so please, on Ravelry, I am Garden of Eden's mom, and this is, I just basically used up all the scraps from the other brioche cowl that I made, and there's nothing left. So I just wanted to make sure that I had everything used up, and it's a little bit shorter than the other one, so it might be a little bit more wearable here in Georgia since it doesn't actually get that cold. It is very squishy and very fun. It is my second attempt at brioche, and I really like it. So I'm excited to pick something a little bit more complicated next time, maybe with increases and decreases so that I can learn those skills in brioche as well. I'll set that aside. The next two finished objects are pairs of socks that I have talked about, and these guys have been worn and I have not washed them again yet. So this is the Shoreline sock in La Bien Aimée Super Sock in the colorway Air Guitar, which I don't believe they're dyeing anymore, but these turned out really good. My gauge was slightly different from one sock to another because I waited so long to do the second sock because, quite frankly, the tiny cables kind of got me down on them a little bit. But they're very wearable, and I'm pretty happy with them. I love the pooling. I think they're very fun. The two socks are not the same. You can see that on my Ravelry page as well because I took a picture of them together before I wore them, and you can see how the pooling is different between the two socks, but really fun. And then my other finished object, and this looks really funny right now, is a DRK Everyday sock. Again, I have worn these and did not wash them before the podcast, but this is the DRK Everyday sock in the Circus Tonic handmade colorway Amelia. This is their 75-25 base. I can't remember. I think it might be Jubilee sock. It is wearing kind of rough for only having worn this one time for one day. So we'll see how these go. I'm not certain that it's the right sock base for me, but we'll figure it out. Other finished objects. Okay, so this is going to be a combined acquisition / finished object. I am participating in the Eat, Sleep, Knit Yarnathon, and that is a year-long kind of, I wouldn't say competition, it's like an activity that you get divided up randomly into teams by the Eat, Sleep, Knit team, who are affectionately known as the Kitties. The Kitties randomly divide you up into 4 teams, and then you individually can earn stars and yardage based on how much yarn you purchase from Eat, Sleep, Knit and how much of your Eat, Sleep, Knit stash you knit through. They have flash craft alongs. One flash craft along that started on February 5th, so 2 days ago, was the Craft Your Heart Out cowl. And the requirement was to do anything with a heart pattern in it. So I did this heart cabled doggy sweater for my smaller dog. And this is, I can't point you to a specific pattern because this is heavily, heavily modified. My base was the String of Hearts doggy sweater on on Ravelry. And again, I have a page for this so you can check it out. But everything was knit separately and seamed in that pattern, and I didn't really want to do that because I didn't think it would give the best fit for my dog. So I heavily, heavily modified. Basically, I just used this part of it, and then from the collar up and the belly piece is my own design. Maybe someday I'll write it up, maybe not. But the acquisition for this was some Cascade Yarns 220 Superwash in the colorway. It's like Purple Heather or Petunia Heather. It's color number 295 if you order it online. And I got this specifically because it is for my dog and I wanted to be able to wash it when she gets it stinky, but she's always cold and she really needed a little sweater. She has worn it and she does really like it. And so I used probably about 200 yards. And for the Flash Craft Along, if you use 250 yards, you get an additional half a star for your team. So I am also working on a heart headband to make it like a winter walk set for me and my dog to go on a walk together. I'll show that next time. It's still so small that you wouldn't really be able to see much, but it's, I think it's the heart cable headband on Ravelry by Yaya Yarns. And that'll be on my Ravelry page too. So acquisition / finished object for the doggy sweater. And my other finished object is the much anticipated hand spun yarn that I made with Sandy and Jamie at Fiber Parts shop in Avondale, which is a small city really close to Decatur, just east of Atlanta. So there's a really cool shop down there called Fiber Parts, and they taught a hand spinning class, so I got to use one of the Ashford Kiwi 3 spinning wheels that they sell in the store, along with 2 other people taking the class, and we got some, I think this is Falkland. We got a little, it was bigger than a Rolag, but not as much as like a braid would be. So we got some Falkland wool and we got to practice on the spinning wheel and learn. And you can see, if you're a spinner, I think most people's first spins kind of look like this. It's a little bit noodly and it's kind of crimping back, plying back on itself. But I'm really proud of just like going in and not letting myself overthink it. And I really would like to get a functioning spinning wheel, specifically the Kiwi, because it's very portable and small and it folds and the price point is pretty good. So hopefully I'll be adding a Kiwi to my fiber family in the next few weeks, and I'll practice spinning and be able to show you some more hand spinning. I'm very, very inspired right now by Tashi of Stitches and Starlight. She's so knowledgeable, and all of her hand spinning is just so beautiful, and I really would love to work towards having some level of skill. I will probably never be where she is, but I would like to work towards it and continue to challenge myself to grow and learn new things. So that's kind of what 2023 is about for me. It's about growth and it's about resilience. And I hope that you are finding I hope that you're finding that this year as well, because we've all had a hard couple years. So I wish that for you. So I think those are all of my finished objects. I will start I'll start the whip parade, and I'll start with things that I'm actually actively working on. So I mentioned that heart headband. I'll show it to you when there's actually something to see. The other thing that I cast on last week, so like a week ago tomorrow, was another Muscle Bra hat by Isolde Teague, and this one is in La Bien Aimée. This colorway is Sienna. It is one of the colorways that Amy did for the Grocery Girls. So this is Tracy's color, and I have a skein of Jasper, which was Jody's color, I believe, in my stash. But this is a skein of her sock held with her silky, I can't remember if it's Surrey or mohair, but it's some fluff. So holding those double to get a nice haloed soft fabric. And I am doing, like I said, the Muscle Bra hat. So for those who may not be familiar, you cast on with the disappearing loop cast on, and then you increase to the diameter that you need and just knit long, 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 like 20 inches for my big ol' head. And then it's a hat that folds in on itself. So I have been working on this. I cast it on because when I go to knit night, I need something that's kind of easy so that I can still talk to my friends and drink wine and have fun and not be like constantly stopping to count. So this is my easy peasy project, and I have on it a Progress Keeper from the Rare Pearl, Jenny, who I got to meet on Saturday. We did a fiber focused pop-up at Second Self Brewing in Atlanta. So it was myself and like 3 other dyers, Jenny, who makes beautiful stitch markers, Miss Barbara, who makes beautiful bags. So it was a really, really fun time. And I bought this donut stitch marker from Jenny. And I'll show you some other acquisitions later that we traded while we were at the fiber focused pop-up, because it's fun to trade with your fiber friends and especially other dyers who may do things that are a little bit different than you. So I've been working on that. It's kind of my out and about project. My very much not out and about project that I actually did put like 6 rows on last week is my Fox Thoughts cardigan. And you may have seen this in Pom Pom like a year and a half, 2 years ago. I forget the designer, but I do have a Ravelry page for this. I bought this yoke kit from La Bien Aimée. This has been on my needles for almost 2 years. It is a long-term project. It will be my first ever steek cardigan. And I'm not going to rush it. My body size hasn't really changed since then, so it'll fit just fine by the time I'm done. I am almost through the chart and ready to split off my sleeves and just have a whole bunch of stockinette and the steek rounds to work. So it should go faster soon, but I'm also kind of savoring and treasuring the learning experience that this has offered. And it's a really beautiful pattern, and it's a cardigan that I'll wear for the rest of my life, hopefully. And maybe even my daughter will want to steal it if it's pretty enough. So I have put a little bit of work in on that. And then the other thing that I actually worked on, but is still a whip, is this George's tank. And so what I've done since the last time you guys saw this is I actually seamed up the sides. So it is almost a tank top. It is almost ready to grow up and be a tank top. The thing that I need to do is to actually put it on properly and to tie it off and then put it in bows over the shoulder so you can see it's got like really long tie straps, and then put a few hand stitches in it just to secure it. We are going to a warmer place soon, so I may try to get this done so that I can actually enjoy it when we are in a warmer place for a day or two. So yeah, so that's good. And it kind of, after I did the sewing whip parade, I was more motivated to actually get through some of my knitting whips, like those 2 pairs of socks I finished since I filmed the sewing whip video, and then I seamed that since I finished the sewing whip video. So those are actually all of the whips that I have that I intend to, well, I take that back. I do have a crochet amigurumi Mirabelle doll from Encanto that I am gonna finish for my daughter, and I'll try to take a picture and put a picture in here just so you can see where I'm at on that. I'm not gonna dig through my closet and pull it out right now. And honestly, I'm gonna have to reteach myself crochet because I retaught myself crochet to do it. I got about 3/4 of the way done with it, and then I put it down. So I'm gonna have to reteach myself again. Oh well, continuous learning. So then the last, now I think I'm telling the truth, the last whip that I have on the needles, and I am really not sure what I'm going to do with this, is my Stephen West Mystery Knit Along from 2022. So these are my colors. This is, the purple is called Winterberry, the teal is called Polar Teal, and that whiskey kind of cognac color is my caramel apple colorway. Say that 5 times fast. And I feel like you've probably heard this before if you've watched other podcasters. I started this, it was fun. I really wanted to participate in all these like loopy things down the center, and I wanted to knit my own colorways, but honestly, I have so lost steam, and when I see people wearing the finished objects, I'm like, I am never going to wear that. I'm never going to wear that in a million years. So it's hibernating. All the rest of the yarn that I dyed up for it is in here with it, but one of my good friends who also has a channel, Darcy Sews. Please look her up if you're not familiar with her. She's delightful. I was talking to Darcy at Knit Night last week, and she was like, "Have you finished it?" And I was like, "I haven't touched it since the last time we talked." And then she told me she was going to frog hers, and I was like, that might be a good idea. So we'll see what happens. I might just let it ruminate a little bit longer, or whatever, marinate, whatever the appropriate word is, a little bit longer. We'll see. Not a whole lot of progress on knitting things, as you have seen, and not a whole lot of progress on sewing things, because honestly, I had that fiber pop up, and I'll put a couple pictures in so you can see the venue and my display. It was very, very fun, and I got to meet some awesome people, as I mentioned. So the first awesome person that I met and traded with was Brooke of Biddy Knits. So we traded some sock yarn. She got my Winter Solstice colorway from the Winter 2022 collection, and I got this beautiful sock set. And so there's kind of like a zebra and then an orange mini. And I bought this with the intention of making my husband a pair of socks. I'll show it to him and see if he likes it. I think it's cute. If he doesn't like it, I'll probably do them for my dad because my dad loves green. And Brooke organized the whole pop-up and like got everything put on for us. So thank you, Brooke. It was really fun, and thanks for trading with me too. And then the other person that I got to trade with was Ryan of Ryan Yarn. He is an Athens, Georgia-based dyer, and he is very, very talented. This colorway is called Believe in Love, and this is on his 80/20 twist sock base. So if you've worked with my sock, very similar to my sweet sock base. This is his twist sock. And as I've said on here before, my 2 favorite colors are yellow and pink. So it was a no-brainer. I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. I would love to find a special one skein project to let this shine, or even like a shawl where I can do sections of this and then like lace sections in a hot pink, or like obnoxiously bright yellow, because I like obnoxiously bright colors. So we'll see what ends up there. But it was just such a pleasure to meet everybody and to work with them and to help spread the word and create a nice space, a nice community space for people to sit in it. So that's all I have as far as like fiber and crafting related content. I will just briefly say that I am still reading the same books that I was reading last time we talked. I am still reading A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas, which is part of the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I finally got to the good part last night, so I am a little bit more motivated now. And I am also listening to the Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring on audiobook. So, it's been slow going because of how busy I am, and that's okay because it's all seasons, right? And I'm getting a lot of things done. So there'll be time to finish those books, and I'll make a point of it here soon. It'll be okay. Let yourself do things in your own time. That's what I'm teaching myself or reminding myself every day. We started the leggings workshop at Atlanta Sewing Center. That was really nice. I have been, like I said, really enjoying Stitches in Starlight as far as YouTube content goes and trying to continue to discover new people. So I'll make sure that I mention any new people that I discover and enjoy. And hopefully next time I record, I'll have a new spinning wheel to show you, but we shall see. Last bit of news is that my yarn will be at QuiltCon, so the Modern Quilt Guild conference that's happening in Atlanta, February 23rd through the 26th. My yarn will be in the String and Story booth. I'll try to find out what the booth number is and put that in the description below. If you are coming to QuiltCon, please say hello to the lovely people of String and Story. They are delightful, and my yarn will be there if you would like to squish and adopt some for your very own. And I am also going to be at Frühlingsfest, which is a German-style festival put on by the Goethe Institute on March 18th, and it is in the city of Avondale Estate. So again, just east of Atlanta. And those are my two most proximal shows. The next show after that will be the Georgia Mountain Needle Arts Festival, April 21st through the 23rd, and that is up in Ellijay, and I will give you exact details when we get closer, but I would love to see some of you there. Please come say hello. Please support your local crafters and artisans. We really appreciate it. You make us very happy, and you make our day when you support small business. So thank you for that. And I'm gonna sign off now, but I hope you make time to be creative today, and thank you for stopping by. Please consider liking and subscribing if you haven't already, and I hope you have a great day.